Hey everyone, welcome back to another 31-minute podcast. I've had a few people say, where's Jordan? Jordan's working. I think the podcast is great. Jordan will come back from time to time. But I said to him, mate, you need to focus completely on work because it's so busy at the moment and he needs to focus on building his career. And 31 minutes is still a part of his life, but it's, I think me as a guy in his life that's guiding him, I think it was the right thing to do, him focus on building his career in what we do and not being distracted. So distractions are the opposite to success, I think. Morning, Jason.
Good morning.
Morning. Yeah, how are you feeling?
Good.
Good?
Yeah, really good today.
Nice and recovered?
Yep, nice and recovered.
Okay, good.
Life's on a roll.
So today's topic is not for everybody. Like, it's for people who only want to achieve what they want to, like their goals and success and stuff like this. It's not for the people who are not willing to change a few things. Because I meet many people who say, oh, I should be doing this, I should be. This is not for the should be, would be, could be's, want to be, changing this and that. It's for people that actually just want to do it. And this topic is pretty close to my heart, I think, because it's sort of how I live every day. And I've learned that, one, nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody is going to do your life and success for you. And nobody's going to give it to you. So you got to go out there and do it yourself. But we all want a yes in life. We all want to go, yes, I did it. I did it. I achieved that goal, or I built this company, or I tripled my results, or I achieved the body that I wanted to achieve. Whatever that is, that's like an ongoing thing forever, really. It's just one benchmark after the next benchmark after the next benchmark. But here's the thing with this whole journey, and it's not easy, but the path to yes is paved with no. And that is the whole thing. It is so hard to say no to the thing that's going to give you a little bit of fun for a minute, but it's going to take you off the path of where you want to go. And it's not easy. Like, it's not easy to get to the, even when people say, I want to double my results, that's a lot. Like, even like 20% your results is a lot. If you want to talk about changing your physique or losing 20 kilos, that's not a 5-minute exercise. That's like years of change. And it's rebuilding yourself from the inside out. Even with gut health, gut health is a whole different lifestyle commitment. I have no interest in the bodybuilding diet anymore, and I wouldn't eat like that. If you paid me, not that I want your money, but if you paid me, because it's not good for you. It's just not good for you at all. Eating just all of this stuff to blow you up and then eating all of this stuff just to lean you down. What I've learned is having a lifestyle choice that's going to help you perform at optimum every day, but it takes a while to get there, by the way. It's not like you eat well for a week and then that's it. But like, if you go down the gut health path and you have a meal plan that matches your bloods, what you're deficient in, what you need, even the timing of it all, when to eat, what to eat, how much to eat, all of this, if you do that, that's really hard. It's like hard to do, but it's also easy to do at the same time if you really want it. And that's the thing. The yes down the track comes from the no's today. So that means not eating pizza. That means if you have to go out for dinner somewhere, which I try and rarely do now because the food is rubbish most of the time, that means selecting something on the menu that's going to give you, well, maybe not 100% gut health nourishment, 70% gut health nourishment, because the way it's cooked and the things that they cook it in they're not good. Most of the stuff, most of it. So I'm right on that path. I want to be like one step closer to a better tomorrow today. And that means, like, I went to Sydney yesterday. Tara had an operation. I had to stay down there all day and wait for her. But, that means not just going and eating somewhere because you're hungry. It means I went to Harris Farm and shopped like I was doing the weekly shopping, bought the paleo bread, bought the organic cucumbers, didn't buy the carrots because they didn't have any organic carrots. I'm just not willing to compromise. Bought the ABC butter, bought olive oil, bought smoked salmon, done all this stuff, the Atlantic smoked salmon, bought all of this, sat in the car for literally like an hour and a half and ate it and put it all together like I was eating at home. Not exactly the same, but not far off. I could have went to a cafe, bacon and egg roll. I wouldn't do that, but I could. It's a hassle. I had to drive down, park, go down to the thing, go down to Harris Farm, shop around, look for all the stuff, make it all, sit in the car, put out plastic on the middle of my car, cut it all up, put it in, eat it, then make sure I've got enough for the next meal. I took 2 Tommy protein shakes, and I had pods before I left. So my day was like almost 100% yesterday. Even the lemon juice, instead of spraying, I didn't have a plate. So instead of, I went and bought knife and forks from the IGA, and then I just got a lemon and squeezed it into my mouth, and then had just sip of still water after that. So it's like almost the same as putting it on your plate. Couldn't find any black sesame seeds. Things like this. Couldn't cook the mushrooms yesterday, or the garlic, or the ginger, or the red onion. So I didn't have those, but I had almost that. But it is so easy to say, you know what, I can't be bothered. I didn't train yesterday because I was down there, but I still went for the Bondi to Clovelly walk while she was getting operated on. I still went and did that. I didn't have the right shorts. I carry a pair of gym clothes in the car, but I had my short shorts that I wear at the factory. A bit embarrassing, but just the way that it is. I was like, am I going to do that, or am I going to do that? Am I going to just like hide in the car and not do it because it's so much easier not to? Or am I going to go, no, I'm committed. I can't train this afternoon because I wasn't sure what time I'd get home. It's a 2-hour drive back up to home. I got home too late. I had a sauna at 8:30, 9 o'clock last night by the time I got home. That's way later than my bedtime, isn't it, Jackson?
Very much later.
Way later. I didn't get to bed till after 10, but I still did my sauna, still did the ice bath, still had a bath, and then got changed and went to bed, put copper on and all these sorts of things. So the no is the difficult part sometimes. Not so much the yes, like everyone wants the yes. When, you had a busy day and it's like, I can't get to the gym. Well, what are you going to do then? Like, what is that? Are you going to do 25 burpees at home and then push-ups and, a tricep exercise on your stairs because you couldn't get there? Because it's the no, I'm not going to let myself off. Or no, I'm not going to eat the bacon and egg roll. Or no, I'm not going to drink today. All of these things is the difficult part. This is what changes you as a person. You don't change by saying yes to the things that aren't aligned with your goals. You just don't. Because that's what average people do. That's why people are in a rut. I went to the chemist last night because Tara had to have heaps of medications on when she's back. She was in the car half off her head on the way home, halfway driving back. She's like, I want to get home. I'm like, I can't go any faster. Anyway, I had 10 scripts to fill for her. And so I went into the chemist. I was in there for a little while. This guy walks in his slippers. And he's like, didn't look bad, but he had like no bottom teeth and whatnot. And he sits down, and I don't talk to people in the shop too much. Jackson could tell you, I just look at the ground and I don't really look around and engage with people.
Yeah, you'd send me to Aaron Affair because you don't want to speak to anybody.
That's right. Jackson's got to pop up there today because it's like, I don't really like running into people. But anyway, he sits on the chair. I could feel him looking at me, and he goes, "Hey, mate." I was like, "Yeah. Hi." He goes, "How old are you?" I said, 51. And like, this is in the chemist with people standing around. I'm like, oh my goodness. I had my skinny tight jeans on, grey t-shirt, pair of sneakers. And he goes, "Gee," he goes, "you look great." I was like, "Oh, thanks." Shivers. What am I going to do now? Like, he's going to try and talk to me. He wasn't like a weirdo or anything. He was just like a guy that, he goes, "I bet you're not married." I said, "Yeah, I am actually. Yeah, like 7 kids." And he's like, "Really?" He goes, "Oh, mate, I don't know how do you do that? Like, as you take good care of yourself. Anyway, why I'm saying that is like every moment in time, you get an opportunity to say, is this decision in line with my goal or is it not? And why I was saying that about that guy, I actually just shuffled off in between the shelves and stood there for the next 20 minutes so he couldn't see me. So he stopped talking to me. But like, you are living the result of your choices. That's what you are, how you look, your energy. You know, I think energy is more important than how you look. I think your energy radiance is almost governed by the choices that you make in what's going on inside. So I've said it before with your gut health and garden and all of that. Like, if you want to take care of the garden, the bacteria garden inside, you're gonna look great energetically. You're going to have a lot of energy to give, but also you become more attractive the better energy that you have. And that's a big part of what I want to do, you know. But it's not easy. This is the part that I want to drill down on. And there's a saying that I've been saying to myself a bit now, and it's really to do with working area at real estate, but it's the same as life. You want to go deep and narrow, not wide and shallow. So when you're wide and shallow, you're doing everything that is anything, being busy, running around, doing stuff that's really not aligned with what you want to do. Just, you know, bits and pieces here and there. We all know what that's like. You get to the weekend, you have a few drinks and you're like, oh, shivers, I really shouldn't do that. And then you get to Tuesday, you feel a bit better. And then you sort of go to the gym maybe once or twice. You go to the gym, even the gym, deep and narrow. When you go there, learn what to do and how to work out well so you can do it effectively in a short amount of time and get out of there. But when you're in there half cocked because you're, you know, just walking on a treadmill or you're just doing a few weights and you sort of don't exactly know what to do, you sort of do and you sort of don't, or you're letting yourself off, there's no point. It's like nothing good comes from 50%, zero. Nothing good comes from 50%. When you're in that 85% to 100% range, everything good happens. You start to reflect that in your life. And that's why Harris Farm yesterday, when I went there and I wouldn't get there was these carrots there that said grown in Tasmania in the colder weather that is great and it's better, they're juicier or this and that. And I looked at it and I said to the guy, are these organic? They look it, but I don't know. He said, no, they're not. I'm not buying them because they would have been sprayed for the last 2 months with a whole lot of stuff to make them look better and last longer, but terrible for you. I'm just not prepared to do that. Pre-workouts, you know, if we really looked at pre-workouts, what they are, I like the feeling of pre-workout. I was a speed addict. I loved the feeling of pre-workouts. If you get it in the right zone, it feels like you're a bit off your head. You know, it feels like you're like in there and you're smarter and you're better and you're this and you're that and you're turned on and you're ready to go and you're throwing heavier weights around and you're in the zone. You're like, yes, this is amazing. I'll work out harder. But look at what's in there. They're rubbish. They are all chemicals. They're caffeine. They're all this sort of stuff. Even caffeine in itself. When you take caffeine, you restrict the blood to your brain by 40%. I'm not a doctor. I just learnt these things. You restrict the blood to your brain by 40%. Think about that. When you're stressing in the gym and you require all of this extra blood rushing around your body and your brain's constricted by 40%, that's not good for you. Let alone having a V or a Red Bull in the morning going to work. My goodness, what the hell? How about a good sleep? You know, I was thinking about some of the tradies that we see in the mornings and they have they're walking out of the servo with a V and a pie or a sausage roll. What a way to start the day. Like you are running on half the cylinders before the day even started. How are they going to feel at 3 o'clock? And that's the way you need to see. A slightly longer term view with everything that you do. So the no today will end up a better yes tomorrow. And the no today means I'm not prepared to settle for just enough now. I'm not prepared to settle for the seesaw of I should be better, I can be better, but I'm letting myself off. The benders on the weekends, the drinks in the afternoons, you can live your life however you want. But over the next, 5 years, imagine you made decisions that were in that 85 to 100% range in every part of your life. Your life would be firing so hard. You literally wouldn't know what to do with yourself because People chase money, but money's nothing more than an energetic reflection. When you're energetically beaming constantly, you're sending messages out to the universe calling for all improved things to come to your life. All improved relationships, all improved financial situation, all improved physical appearance, all improved mental clarity, all improved energy, the whole lot. The opportunity that you want is nothing more than an energy reflection waiting for you to become that beacon of energy. So doesn't it make sense to say no to this stuff? Even my business partner is at a conference today, and he texted me and said, I can't stand conferences these days, because he's been doing it for a long time. And he said, I'm becoming you. Yeah, he's becoming me. But I just learned a long time ago, if my energy isn't in line with what I'm doing, there's no point going. There's no point going to a place where you're not energetically desiring to do it, because you're going to go in there and you're not going to feel pumped. You're going to feel resentful. And if you look at where resentment is on the emotional guidance scale, it's right down the bottom somewhere. So today, if you decide I've heard this message that, the no is, the path to yes is paved with no's, because I think the no's are more important. What are you prepared to stop doing? And I mean, stop doing. You got to build the muscle. It's like Jackson went out last weekend and, he's beating himself up. And I said, Jack, it's okay. You just haven't built the muscle enough yet. You got to be prepared for that. But you don't do it because you're lazy. You do it because you're stuffed up. You got caught in the moment, but you learn from that. And that's going to get less and less. If you really want to improve, every weekend is not improving of, binge drinking or, just doing stuff that's not in line with where you want to be. But every now and then you might have a bit of a blowout and you're like, okay, that wasn't that great. Learn from it, develop some strength and keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. And eventually you get to the point where I am. And Jackson said to me the other day, do I ever get any desire to do anything like take cocaine, drink? I don't, not one bit, zero. The path that I'm on now is like a magnetically pulling path that's saying the best life for you is over here. Now all you got to do is put the steps in every day, and you just got to be constantly moving down that path. Like this morning, I just moved my day around to fit my morning routine in, because that's how important it is to me. Because the morning routine sets the tone and the frequency for me. And I know everyone's at a different time in a season. You can't do a hour or 2 hour morning routine like I do if you're just starting to build a business. All of your attention needs to be on the business, and you might do a slightly smaller one somewhere else in the day, but it's that slightly smaller one that's going to keep your tanks full. And I think that's what it's about, keeping your energy tanks really full, because when you do, you feel amazing. So when you're doing what you want to do in the way you want to do it and with some excitement and keenness, you feel so good. And that's the key to use, almost like telling you which direction to go. Keep doing that. And if you did that enough times in the day, you got to do some stuff you don't want to do, but not as much as the stuff that you're doing. It'll sort of outweigh it. If you're doing much more stuff that you want to do as opposed to much more stuff that you don't want to do, then you will feel fantastic more time constantly. So if you want to rebuild yourself, reinvent yourself, change everything about what's going on the outside, not everything, but whatever subject that you want, you've got to be able to say no and protect that space and only make choices that are going to help you improve. The gut health journey is a very interesting journey, and you feel it almost week by week. Imagine 3 years down the track, if you spent almost every meal cultivating the best version of your gut health ever. Imagine what's that going to do for your skin, for your eyes, for your hair, for your well-being, just for your overall general energetic placement. I suggest you start looking at it. It's the most powerful thing you can do. It's where everything starts. But then your work will be improved from that. Your relationship hopefully will be improved with that. Even being with a person that you don't want to be with, that's a hard thing. Sometimes you have to make some difficult decisions, but you have to stay steady moving on if that's not right for you. Whatever is not right for you is not right for a reason. Sometimes you need a little bit of bravery to say, I need to adjust my life for a slightly better future over here, or a much better future over here. But I'm going to have to say no here to achieve this. This is what I'm saying. Every moment of every day you get choices, and those choices are governed by you, nobody else. You create the outcome that you want as yourself and also your environment. And how much you want something in your life, like whatever result that it was, is literally going to be protected by the no's. So when I'm blunt with people and say, no, I don't want to catch up with you. No, I don't want to go to the dinner. No, I don't. Because I know I'm protecting my time. It might not sound that pleasant because I'm reasonably blunt about it, but at least people know where I stand on things. And then I feel much better. It doesn't mean I don't do anything. I do. But it's the things that I want to do and I feel most aligned with. That's the key. And if I do that enough, I'm protecting my energy all the way along because I know what it feels like to be totally burnt out. I'm not going to be prepared to do that again. And sometimes you've got to go through that to know what you don't want anymore. And then you get, again, the muscle will build, and you get really good at starting to say no. So whatever it is you want in life, start to really think about it and then be uncompromising in your pursuit of that. And you watch what happens. The no's actually protect the yes of achievement down the track. That's how the path is lit up, protected, and achieved.